I guess it's time. It's finally time to say goodbye for a little bit. Destiny has been my main favorite and definitely most played game for the past 2 years, but it's finally time I say goodbye to it. With all the issues regarding skill-based matchmaking, mindless and boring gameplay, dull endgame, completely unbalanced crucible, and with no future for year 3 in sight, I have finally decided to uninstall and quit for the next year. So let's talk about why Destiny has gone from being a game that I put 1,150 hours into of almost non-stop fun and pleasure to being the most forced and boring game that I have ever played. It all started during the beta in I think July of 2014. I gave my best friend Jay, or Suspense if you guys know, and my other friend at the time, Frankie. The beta was an amazing experience for me and Jay, and it was the type of game that we have never played before, and I could definitely tell that this is what I needed to stop playing Call. At the time, I was making cringy ass BO2 free-for-all cut comms and spinning around like a fucking moron in a garbage game that I forced myself to play for 2 years. Anyway, when the beta ended, either 1 or 2 weeks later, I sadly went back to spinning in COD. Fast forward to September 9th, my life for the better has changed. I could finally stop trickshotting and making BO2 cut comms and play a game that I actually enjoyed, even though here and there I made a few cut comms, but I'm a fucking hypocrite. Me, Jay, Gavin, and Jay's cousin Gordon, I don't know if you guys know them, but I think I made a video with them. We all started to grind and play Destiny non-stop for weeks on end, but at one point, I just got bored. Not knowing about Atheon, I quit Destiny for a little bit and stopped playing Xbox for a while. One day at school, Jay started talking to me about this raid that him and Gavin, I think, and Gordon did with randoms. He started talking to me about this gun that he got, and it ended up being the most overpowered gun in the game. It was either the Suros or the Vex. After school, I got home and immediately got on Xbox and started doing strikes until I got to light level 27, which is at the time, it's only 3 light levels under the max if you guys didn't play at that time. I did Atheon, and it was the craziest experience of my gaming quote-unquote career. And from that moment, I knew I never wanted to quit this game, until now. Fast forward to December to the release of Crota. Crota was a raid that I not once did legit. The first time I did it, the host unplugged his Ethernet cable and ended up getting the 3rd most desired gun in the game. Black Hammer. This is when I discovered Twitch. Well, I didn't really just discover Twitch, I discovered the Destiny Twitch community. I was on Twitch and I saw this fat fuck named Prod doing the raid over and over in a Santa hat just to get the Black Hammer. And Prod, if you somehow ended up watching this video, I'm sorry for calling you a fat fuck, but I know you're skinny now, Capital. And even after multiple times of doing Crota and Atheon and getting to 32, I still did them each week, and don't even get me started about the fucking Nightfalls. Oh my god. If you're around before the Taken King, you know how different and fun they were compared to now. Now we're in May of 2015. Bungie just released a way of quote-unquote farming treasure keys. Well, in their eyes, they had no idea how to farm them, but we sure as fuck did. For hours upon hours a day, me and Jay would sit in Skywatch. Coincidentally enough, this is where we had spent hours and hours a few months ago farming blues and legendaries in a cave. But a few weeks down the line, came the release of House of Wolves, and holy shit was it disappointing. From there being no raid, which is understandable, they only had a few months to do it, to an endgame where you got the same shit and close to no chance at an exotic. Shit exotics in general, and trials, which at that time was 2-tap Thorn and Last Word, shotguns that killed from max Stormcaller melee range, and the Reign of Sunsinger. Combined with my skill level at the time, it was pretty much impossible for me to go flawless. I was until the greatest trials run of 2015 with me, Chris, and Malik, or Schmeegs. After Chris introduced me to Nick, Sever, or Vigil, Sega, fucking faggot that I never wish I spoke to, and Malik, Destiny came a game that I never wanted to get off of. Then came the Taken King. At the time, everything was extremely dark. I was dealing with almost crippling anxiety, no meme there, to the point where I couldn't go to school for 2 to almost 3 weeks. Thoughts of suicide were regular for me at that time, but I knew I could get through it. Taken King had so much shit to do that it helped me through the darkest and most random time in my life. But when I finished everything, there was nothing to do, so I started to play Crucible more and more, so I got better and better. Best, fastest, Titan, and Nate Cap. When Trials came around, it started to get easy for me. Me and my friends went flawless almost every week, and then come April, another update that I call the Taking oh my god! Come April, there's another update, which I call the Taking Spring. President Elders return with the hope of keeping us fulfilled until Rise of Iron, but that sure as fuck failed. Since I was on spring break, I was able to invest almost all my time into it, and it ended up getting to 334 in 2 weeks. But because of smart loot, it took me another month to get a fucking helmet and get me to 335. This is the time where I started to almost only play Rift, and got to the point of skill level that I started to notice skill-based matchmaking was out in full force for me. Almost every game I wanted to search, it was either a 3 to 6 stack of sweaty-ass, laggy-ass motherfuckers that wanted to farm an invisible stack called Elo. Hence the Elo Nerd skit I made a while ago. For a brief moment in time, I was in a skill category on Destiny Tracker called Legionnaire, aka the absolute highest rank possible. So I started to get more and more laggy games than 6 stacks of sweaty fucks that were shade step shotgunning. Soon came the time where I made the What's Up with Destiny videos and started to strictly play Halo. Games that Bungie made 10 years ago, besides Reach, but that's ass on the Xbox One, just non-stop fucking frame drops and shit. I wanted to get away from skill-based matchmaking and had hopes that Bungie would come to their senses in Rise of Iron and remove skill-based matchmaking for good. But when it came out, I sadly had my hopes crushed. When it came out and I finally got to a respectable light level and had good guns, I decided to play Crucible again, hoping skill-based matchmaking was gone. First game was the 6 stack. Second game was a 4 stack. Third game was all solos besides 4 people in teams of 2. And I thought to myself I was just getting unlucky. But sure enough, when I loaded in, everybody was laggy and shotgunning. After I heard about the release of Cant 4 Remastered, a game I played the shit out of 8 years ago, I decided to play Halo mainly again, and Destiny for PvE only on the side. After Modern Warfare Remastered came out, I sadly haven't gone back to Destiny, and haven't played it since October 28th. And since the release of the last This Week at Bungie, I uninstalled Destiny with no intent of playing it anymore, until Destiny 2, in September of next year. And if Bungie is smart, they release a beta around the same time they released the beta Destiny 1. So this is my Destiny story over the last 2 years, summed up in a video. I don't know when the next time I'll upload is, but it'll be 2 more Halo mini-tages that I've had on my desktop for like a month. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll talk to you guys later. By the way, this is all typed up. It took me like a fucking hour to remember everything and like type it all up. I could barely fucking type anymore. DJ, if you're watching this video, I like your game, but you fucking suck. Mantis, if you're also watching this video, I hope you get fired because you're a fucking useless fuck that doesn't know how to, you know, manage a fucking game properly. So, fuck you.